Social Justice Goblin, welcome to the Breakfast Nook. So, I hold in my hands, which I'm going to reveal in a second, Betty and Veronica, issue number 2338. Cost 65 cents and came out in October 2003. 2083. Anyways, this is my most valuable comic book to me. This is the most important one in my collection. This is the one that I will take to my grave and hand down to my daughter. All the others, they're just cool. You know, there's just something about them that makes them cool. But this one, and there's a couple others up there that have meaning to me, is changed me completely. And it wasn't the main story that did it. No. This is a tough video to make. I mean, it's very emotional for me. I already did one take and it was so emotional. It was like I was losing it. And by the way, the beard, I know. I work from home now. You can't see me on the camera because the camera on my Mac is terrible. And I wear a mask when I leave the house because I don't drive anywhere, because I don't go anywhere. Coronavirus. Delta scares the hell out of me. So, that said, this is one I would have paid $10,000 for. I don't need another copy, by the way. I would pay market rate, in which I paid market rate for it, which I think was like $3. You know. It was the second story that really was what changed my life. I read it so many times because I loved it. I read it almost every day that I could read comics. It was only allowed on the weekends. Because they knew I wouldn't do my homework. I didn't do my homework anyways. I literally did not do any homework in science class and still got an A. It was easy, I just listened. So anyways, in this story, Midge and Betty are noticing all these crazy haircuts, and they had this cool shot of this woman in orange hair with Batman earrings, big Batman earrings. So it was like, you know, it just stuck out at you, and you were like, this is amazing. And it just drew you in. And as you read it, it was about them getting these crazy hairdos. They get the crazy hairdos. Veronica convinces them to get the crazy hairdos. So then Midge and Betty go get the crazy hairdos. And then Veronica goes back to the regular look and gets all the boys. This is the 80s, Chuck. This is the 80s, when crazy hair was all the thing. And I loved crazy hair. So that story, I read it almost every day for as long as I had this comic book. Because you see, sadly, I got all the superhero comics, and my sister got all the Archie comics. And so I had to sneak it out of my sister's room and into my room to read it. And so I would sneak in, but I would sneak into her room and read her Archies all the time. So she was kind of used to me sneaking in and reading her Archies all the time, because I read the Archies. Well, my sister got out of comics and sold off all her Archies. So, and then I grew up and kind of stopped reading Archie and never really. I mean, I read Archie every once in a while, and I'm like, some of the new stuff they've done is really good. Like the Afterlife with Archie, that was with the zombies Archies. That was some brilliant stuff. The Sabrina stuff, what little I have read of it, is amazing. But so as I read this story more and more and more, I started realizing something. Something started to spark in me. And then one day I was thinking to myself, I want to be a woman. I mean, just look at this. Hold on. I'm a woman. It was the birth of Maggie. And yeah, it was the moment I realized I was a woman. I didn't know how to conceptualize it at the time. I just knew I wanted to be a woman. Every time I would just go, I want to wear those women's clothes. I want to wear this. I want to wear that. You know, I want to dress this way. I want to do my hair that way. I want to be the woman. It wasn't until bachelor's party that I realized a man could become a woman. Bachelor's party, by the way, is very transphobic. Tom Hanks is in it. I'm not kidding. And so, yeah. And here's the thing, after I lost it, I couldn't remember the issue number. I just remembered it was a Betty and Veronica. There's over 300 of them. 350 some? I don't know, 360? I don't know. I don't collect Betty and Veronica. I mean, kind of over Archie. I mean, I'm selling off Archie #1 of the relaunch. But truth be told, as I plug in truth be told, I never thought I would ever read that story again in my life. I used to look at like Archie Digest, praying that it would appear in one of the digests. I don't know, just in looking at the digest, because kind of like that's what I kind of do with digest when I get my hands on one. I kind of like peruse it and read a few stories and kind of go, So I gave up trying to find it. Well, one day I was thinking, and I went to an online comic book shop, which I'm not going to name because I'm not sponsored. And all I could remember was a Betty and Veronica story, because it was in a Betty and Veronica. And Veronica was in the story. She was the foil. She was the antagonist. But anyways, as I was saying, it changed the very fiber of my life. It made me realize who I was inside. All right? It made me realize how precious I was. It protected me when I was abused for being effeminate. So, it is the 80s. I know, the 80s. It was what we have today and what we had in the 80s. It's now if they remade Bachelor Party and did that scene in Bachelor Party, there would be an outroar. So, and it starred Tom Hanks, Bachelor Party. So, this, to me, is the one I'm taking to the grave, because once I found it, I got to read the story again. I know it's slabbed in this little thing, but I can easily peel these things off the back and open it and read it again. It's a readable copy. I didn't get high grade, I got readable. Because every time I need to remind myself why I am Maggie, I just read this book. Now that it's encased, I don't need it as much, but it's there in case I need it. And that's why it's my most important book in my collection. And there are other books that are important in my collection that are coming up in this series, but they're a lot less interesting. So anyways,